Tonight, as the world grows quiet and your breathing slows, let your heart rest in the gentle presence of God, the one who sees every tear before it falls, the one who counts every sigh, the one who has never once lost track of you. You may be listening with a tired soul, wondering why the road has been so heavy, why the night has felt so long, why pain seemed to arrive before peace. And in this still moment, God draws near, not with sharp answers, but with a tender voice that whispers truth wrapped in love. There is a mystery woven into the way God works, a holy pattern seen again and again throughout Scripture. Before the blessing comes the breaking, before the promise unfolds, there is waiting. Before the light rises, there is always a darkened sky. This is not because God delights in pain. No. It is because He is shaping something eternal within you, something that could never be formed in comfort alone. Think of Joseph, a young man, with dreams placed in his heart by God Himself. He saw greatness ahead, favor, purpose, and life unfolding beautifully. Yet the path to that promise led him first through betrayal by his brothers, the cold walls of a prison, false accusations, and years of forgotten silence. Night after night, Joseph slept on hard ground, far from home, with nothing but unanswered prayers and fading hope. And still, God was there, quietly present, working in ways Joseph could not yet see. God did not abandon Joseph in the pit. He was there. God did not leave him in the prison. He was there. Every tear Joseph shed watered the soil of a future blessing that would not only lift him but save nations. The pain was not wasted. The delay was not denial. The suffering was preparation. And so it is with you. The hardship you have walked through is not proof of God's absence, but often evidence of His nearness. Scripture tells us that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted, that He saves those who are crushed in spirit. When your heart aches, God does not step back. He leans in, He listens. He gathers every fragment of your story and holds it gently in His hands. Sometimes God allows pain because He is protecting you from a blessing you are not yet ready to carry. A blessing too heavy for an unprepared heart can become a burden instead of a gift. So He teaches you patience through waiting, humility through loss, compassion through sorrow. He stretches your faith in the dark so it can stand firm in the light. David knew this truth well. Anointed as king while still a shepherd boy, he was promised a throne. Yet he spent years running through caves, hunted, misunderstood, and weary. Each lonely night beneath the stars, David learned to trust God as his refuge, his shield, his song. The crown did not come quickly, but when it did, David's heart had been shaped by dependence on God alone. If you are in a season where pain seems to speak louder than promise, know this: God has not forgotten you. He is not late. He is not careless with your heart. He is working in hidden places, doing deep work that will one day make sense. The soil must be broken, before the seed can grow. The night must pass before the morning can rise. So rest now. Let your thoughts slow. Let your fears loosen their grip. You are safe in God's hands. The same God who allowed the pain is the God who has already prepared the blessing. And when the time is right, when your heart is ready, when the moment is full, He will bring it forth gently, beautifully, perfectly. For now, breathe and sleep in the peace of knowing that even this season is held by God. As you drift deeper into rest, let the truth settle softly over your heart. God's timing is not hurried, and His silence is never empty. When answers delay, when prayers seem to echo back unanswered, it is not because heaven is closed. It is because God is weaving something too sacred to rush. He is working beyond what your eyes can see, shaping outcomes that will one day cause you to look back and whisper, "Now I understand." Consider Abraham and Sarah, carrying a promise for decades while their bodies aged and hope grew thin. Every year that passed felt heavier than the last, every unanswered prayer pressing deeper into their faith. Yet God was not absent in their waiting. He was teaching them to trust beyond logic, beyond strength, beyond possibility. And when the promise finally arrived, it was unmistakably God's doing, impossible without Him, undeniable in its timing. Pain often comes before blessing because pain loosens our grip on what cannot save us. It strips away false security and teaches the soul where true refuge is found. In suffering, we learn to lean not on our own understanding, but on the steady faithfulness of God. We discover that His presence is enough, even when everything else feels uncertain. Jesus Himself walked this path. Before the resurrection came the cross. Before the joy set before Him, there was suffering, betrayal, and sorrow. God did not remove the pain. He redeemed it, and through it, salvation was born for all who would believe. This tells us something holy and profound, that God can bring life out of death, beauty out of ashes, and hope out of heartbreak. So if your life feels like a Good Friday moment, silent and heavy, do not lose heart. Sunday is coming. Resurrection follows surrender. Joy follows endurance. God never wastes pain when it is placed into His hands. Tonight, let your weary soul rest in this promise. The story God is writing for you is not finished. The chapter you are in may be difficult, but it is not the ending. The author is kind, His plans are good, and His love for you is deeper than every sorrow you have known. Let go now. Breathe slowly, trust fully. God is watching over you even as you sleep. He is holding your tomorrow while you rest in His peace. As the night deepens and your body grows still, let your heart remember this gentle truth. God often does His most beautiful work in the quiet places where no one is watching. When the world feels asleep to your pain, heaven is fully awake. Every moment of endurance, Every silent prayer whispered through tears is seen and treasured by Him. There are seasons when God allows pain because He is refining trust. Faith that has never been tested can be easily shaken, but faith that has walked through fire becomes unmovable. Like gold purified by heat, your spirit is being strengthened, made radiant with perseverance, compassion, and depth. One day, you will carry blessings with hands steady and humble, because suffering taught you how precious they truly are. Think of Hannah, pouring out her heart in anguish, misunderstood and mocked. Longing for a child, she believed God had forgotten. Yet God heard her cries in the temple, catching every word soaked in tears. Her pain became a prayer, and her prayer became a promise. When her blessing came, it came with purpose, dedication, and worship. What once broke her heart became a testimony that still echoes through Scripture. Sometimes God allows pain because He is rearranging your life for a greater good. Doors close not to punish you, but to redirect you. Relationships fade not to leave you empty, but to make room for what will nourish your soul. Loss clears space for renewal. Waiting prepares you to recognize the blessing when it finally arrives. If your heart feels tired tonight, if you are holding questions with no answers, let them rest. You do not need to solve tomorrow before sleeping. God is already there. He is already working. The burden was never meant to be carried alone. So release the weight now, unclench your hands, soften your breath, quiet your thoughts. Trust that the same God who walked with Joseph in the prison, with David in the caves, with Hannah in her sorrow, and with Jesus to the cross, is walking with you even now. Sleep peacefully, knowing that pain is never the final word in God's story. Blessing is coming, gently, purposefully, at exactly the right time. As your breathing becomes slow and steady, let one more truth cradle your heart tonight. God is never cruel with His children. When pain is permitted, it is never without purpose, never without limit, never without His hand holding yours through it. He measures every trial, sets boundaries around every storm, and promises that it will not last forever. There are moments when pain teaches what words never could. It teaches the soul how fragile life is, how deeply love matters, how desperately we need God. In those moments, pride fades, control loosens, and the heart learns surrender. And surrender is where peace begins. Not because everything is fixed, but because everything is finally placed into God's care. You may not see it now, but one day you will recognize how God used this season to soften you, to deepen you, to draw you closer than ever before. The compassion you will carry, the wisdom you will speak, the quiet strength in your presence, all of it will be traced back to nights like this, when you chose to trust God even while hurting. The Bible reminds us that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. That morning may not arrive tomorrow or next week, but it will come. God's promises do not expire. His faithfulness does not weaken. He finishes what He begins. So tonight, Give yourself permission to rest. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not broken beyond repair. You are being lovingly led through a process that ends in blessing, restoration, and peace. Let your eyes grow heavy now. Let your heart grow light. God is standing watch while you sleep. He is already preparing the good that will rise from this pain. And when it comes, you will know it was worth the wait. Sleep in His peace, wrapped in His promises, held by His love. As the stillness wraps around you like a warm blanket, let your soul hear this final reassurance for the night. God's love is not proven by the absence of pain, but by His presence within it. He does not stand far away while you struggle. He walks beside you, matching your pace, carrying what you cannot, even when you feel weak, even when faith feels like a whisper instead of a song. He remains faithful. There are blessings that only come to hearts that have learned to wait, to trust, to hope against hope. These blessings arrive gently, not to overwhelm you, but to heal you. They come with peace instead of pride, gratitude instead of fear, and rest instead of striving. God knows exactly what kind of blessing your soul needs, and He knows when you are ready to receive it. One day you will look back and see how every painful step was guided, how every closed door redirected you, how every tear softened your heart. You will see that God was never delaying out of neglect, but out of love, protecting you, preparing you, walking you towards something far greater than you imagined. Until that day, rest here. Rest in the truth that you are deeply known and endlessly loved. Rest in the promise that God's plans for you are good, even when the path is hard. Rest in the assurance that nothing you have endured has been meaningless. Let sleep come naturally now, unforced, unafraid. Place your worries gently into God's hands and allow your heart to be still. He is working while you sleep. He is guarding your future. He is surrounding you with peace. Good night. May God's presence cover you like quiet light. And may your rest be deep, safe, and full of hope. As the night stretches gently onward, let your heart rest even deeper in this quiet assurance. God is not rushing you, and He is not disappointed in where you are. He delights in you, even in your weariness, even in your questions, even in the parts of your story that still feel unfinished. You are not a problem to be fixed, but a child to be loved. Sometimes pain lingers longer than we expect because God is teaching us how to receive His love without fear. When everything is stripped away, when strength runs thin, we begin to see that His love does not depend on our success, our understanding, or our endurance. It is simply there, steady, faithful, unchanging. And in that realization, the soul finally exhales. You may fall asleep tonight without clarity, without answers, without relief yet visible. That is okay. Faith does not require full understanding to rest. It only requires trust. And even that trust can be small, fragile, barely whispered. God honors it all. As you sleep, imagine placing every heavy memory, every unanswered prayer, every lingering ache into God's hands. He receives them gently, without judgment, without impatience. He knows exactly what to do with them. He has already written redemption into your story, even if you cannot see the words yet. Let your mind grow quiet now. Let your thoughts slow like waves settling on a calm shore. Nothing more is required of you tonight. God is awake. God is watching. God is working. Sleep peacefully, wrapped in His presence. The pain will not last forever. The blessing will come. And until then, you are held completely, tenderly, eternally. As the quiet carries you further into rest, let this gentle truth remain with you like a soft melody. God's goodness is not measured by moments, but by eternity. What feels long and heavy now is only a small part of a story that stretches far beyond this season. God sees the beginning, the middle, and the beautiful ending all at once, and He is guiding you with patient love toward what will one day bring peace to your heart. Pain can make time feel slow, almost suspended, as if nothing is changing. But beneath the surface, God is moving with purpose. Roots are growing deeper where no one can see. Strength is forming quietly. Faith is learning how to stand without needing proof. These unseen changes are often the most important ones because they prepare you for blessings that will last, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. There are blessings God protects until the right hour. Blessings that require maturity, tenderness, and trust to fully receive. If they came too early, they could overwhelm instead of heal. So God waits with you. He stays near. He reassures you through His word, through gentle peace, through moments like this where your heart feels just a little lighter than before. If tonight your soul feels fragile, let it be so. God is gentle with fragile things. He does not rush healing, and He does not shame weakness. He restores slowly, lovingly, layer by layer, until wholeness returns in a way that feels safe and lasting. Allow sleep to take you now, not as an escape, but as an act of trust. Rest is a prayer God understands deeply. While you sleep, He continues His work, guarding your heart, aligning your steps, preparing what is ahead. Nothing you have endured has slipped through His hands. Nothing has been wasted, nothing has gone unseen. The blessing will come, and when it does, it will carry the quiet beauty of a God who knew exactly what He was doing all along. Sleep peacefully now. You are deeply loved, endlessly kept, and forever held. As the final hours of the night gently unfold, let this quiet comfort remain with you. God's heart has always been drawn to those who are weary. Again and again in Scripture, He invites the tired, the burdened, the broken to come and rest. Not after they are healed, not after they are strong again, but just as they are. Your weakness does not push Him away. It draws Him closer. There are moments when pain feels like it has changed you forever. And in some ways it has, but not in the way you fear. It has made you more tender, more aware of grace, more capable of compassion. It has carved space in your heart where God's comfort can dwell deeply. The blessing that follows will not erase the pain, but it will redeem it, wrapping it in meaning and peace. God never rushes healing because He knows hurried healing often leaves hidden wounds behind. So He moves slowly, faithfully, restoring what was lost and strengthening what was shaken. He knows exactly how much you can carry, and He promises never to give more than His grace can sustain. If your heart still aches tonight, let it ache in His presence. There is no need to hide, no need to be strong. God understands the language of tears. He listens to prayers that have no words. He holds you through the quiet moments when all you can do is breathe. Let sleep deepen now. Let your body relax fully. With every breath, imagine God's peace filling the spaces where worry once lived. You are safe. You are protected. You are deeply loved. The pain will not have the final word. God does. And His word over your life is gentle, faithful, and full of hope. Rest now. The night is held by God, and so are you. As the darkness slowly begins to soften toward dawn, let this last gentle wave of comfort settle over you. God is faithful even when you are asleep. When your strength is gone, when your thoughts finally grow quiet, He continues His careful work. He never slumbers, never grows tired, never forgets the promises He has spoken over your life. There are answers God gives not through explanations, but through peace. A peace that arrives quietly, often unnoticed at first, like calm settling after a storm. You may wake tomorrow without clarity, without sudden change, yet with a heart that feels steadier than before. That is God's hand at work, steadying you, reminding you that you are not alone. Pain before blessing is not punishment. It is preparation, wrapped in mercy. It teaches the soul to recognize grace when it comes, to cherish joy when it arrives, to hold blessings with humility and gratitude. And when God finally brings you into the season you have prayed for, you will walk into it with a heart that knows how to rest, how to trust, how to worship. If sleep has already found you, may these words gently linger in your spirit. If you are still awake, let them guide you softly into rest. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to figure out tonight. God has it all in His hands. You are safe, you are seen, you are deeply loved. Sleep now, wrapped in God's peace, covered by His presence, and carried by the quiet promise that what lies ahead will be worth every tear you have shed. As the quiet stretches on, gentle and unhurried, let this final truth for this season of rest settle softly within you. God's story over your life has always been written in love. Every chapter, even the painful ones, has been guided by His hand. Nothing has been random. Nothing has been overlooked. Even the moments that felt unbearable were held within His care. Sometimes the blessing God prepares is not only what He gives you, but who you become along the way. A heart that knows mercy, a spirit that understands grace, a soul that has learned how to rest in God, not just rejoice in His gifts. These are treasures pain quietly shapes, treasures that last far beyond any single season. When you finally step into the blessing God has been preparing, it will feel different than you imagined. It will feel calmer, safer, lighter. There will be gratitude where there was once fear, trust where there was once striving. You will recognize the peace not as luck, but as the gentle fingerprint of God, who walked you patiently through every valley to bring you there. For now, remain at rest. There is no rush to awaken, no urgency to understand. Let your body sink deeper into sleep, your heart resting in the knowledge that God is already ahead of you, clearing the path, preparing the way. The pain is not the end. The waiting is not the end. Even the silence is not the end. God is faithful to complete what He has begun. Sleep peacefully now, wrapped in quiet hope, covered in grace, and held securely by a God who loves you beyond measure. As the quiet holds steady and your rest deepens, let this gentle reassurance remain with you like a soft breath of peace. God is never finished with a life He loves. Even when growth feels slow, even when healing feels incomplete, even when the night seems longer than expected, His work continues. With patience and care, He is not discouraged by how long the journey takes. Love never rushes what it cherishes. There are moments when pain makes us wonder if we have missed something, if we took a wrong turn, if we somehow fell behind God's plan. But hear this softly now. You cannot outrun God's grace, and you cannot fall outside His will when your heart still seeks Him. Every step, even the painful ones, has been gathered into His purpose. God allows pain before blessing because He desires not just to bless your life, but to bless your heart. He wants the blessing to bring peace, not pressure, joy, not fear, rest, not striving. So He prepares you gently, shaping you through seasons that teach you how to receive without anxiety and how to rejoice without losing yourself. If your soul still carries heaviness tonight, let it rest where it is. God does not demand instant healing. He walks with you at the pace of grace. Each breath you take, each moment of rest you allow, is part of the healing He is lovingly unfolding. Let sleep wrap around you again now, calm and untroubled. Tomorrow does not need your strength yet. God already has it covered. For this moment, for this night, you are safe. The pain has meaning, the waiting has purpose, and the blessing will come with the gentle certainty of a promise kept. Sleep on, held by mercy, surrounded by peace, and carried by a God who never lets go. As the night gently lingers, calm and unbroken, let this quiet closing comfort settle deeply into your heart. God's presence does not fade when words grow few. Even in silence, He is near. Even in stillness, He is active. Even when your soul feels empty of strength, His love remains full and steady. There are blessings God gives that arrive quietly, not with sudden noise, but with a deep sense of peace that feels like coming home. These blessings are born from endurance, shaped by trust, and sealed by love. And they are worth every step of the journey that led you there. One day, you will recognize how the pain prepared your heart to recognize true peace when it finally arrived. Until that day, God offers you rest. Not escape, not forgetting, but holy rest. The kind that restores the soul and steadies the heart. As you sleep, your body heals, your mind resets, and your spirit is gently renewed by a God who never stops caring for you. If worries try to return, let them pass without holding them. There is nothing you need to solve tonight. There is nothing you need to carry alone. God has already taken what you laid down, and He holds it with perfect care. Let sleep continue to wash over you. Slow, peaceful, unafraid. You are not alone in the dark. God's light surrounds you, quiet and constant, guarding every breath. The pain has a purpose, the blessing has a time, and both are held by the same loving God. Rest now, deeply, safely, completely. As the night continues its gentle watch, let these quiet words settle like a final lullaby for your soul. God's mercy is new every morning, but it also surrounds you through the night. Even now, while the world is still and your body rests, His grace is quietly renewing what has been worn down by worry, sorrow, and waiting. You may not feel changed yet, and that is okay. Healing often happens beneath the surface, unnoticed, until one day you realize you are breathing easier, trusting deeper, resting more fully than before. God works in layers, patiently restoring what pain has touched. Nothing in you is beyond His care. There will come a time when this season no longer aches the way it does now. The memory will remain, but the sharpness will fade, replaced by understanding and gratitude. You will see how God carried you when you could not carry yourself, how He guided you through shadows into gentler light. For now, remain at rest. Let sleep continue uninterrupted. Let your heart stay soft, unguarded, at peace. God is near, closer than your breath, faithful beyond every fear. The pain is passing, the blessing is forming, and love is holding it all together. Sleep on, wrapped in quiet grace, surrounded by unshakable peace, and kept by a God who will never let you go. As the quiet hours hold steady, gentle, and unbroken, let this soft assurance remain with you. God has never been distant from your story, not even for a moment. In every season of pain, He has been closer than you realized, catching tears before they fell, hearing prayers before they were fully formed. His love has surrounded you even when hope felt thin. There are times when pain feels like a long night with no clear end, But God promises that night is never permanent. He allows it to teach the soul how to rest in Him, how to listen for His voice, how to trust His heart even when the way forward is unclear. And slowly, without force or fear, the darkness gives way to light. You do not need to be strong tonight. You do not need to be brave or resolved or certain. All that is required is rest. God delights in caring for you when you are weakest. He is gentle with the tired, patient with the hurting, and faithful beyond measure. As you sleep, let your heart stay open and unafraid. The same God who allowed the pain is the God who will bring the blessing. And He will do it in a way that brings peace, not pressure, healing, not fear, joy that feels safe and lasting. Remain at rest now. Nothing is being missed. Nothing is slipping away. God is at work, quietly, lovingly, perfectly. Sleep on, held by grace, surrounded by peace, and carried by the unwavering love of God. As the quiet continues to cradle you, unbroken and calm, let this final stream of peace flow gently through your heart. God is not counting how long it takes you to heal. He is not measuring your progress or waiting for you to arrive somewhere better before He loves you fully. His love is complete right now, right here, exactly as you are. There are blessings God places not in our hands, but in our hearts. A steadiness that was not there before. A softness that replaces fear. A trust that grows quietly, without announcement. These are the gifts pain prepares us to receive. Gifts that make life feel lighter even before circumstances change. If your spirit feels tired beyond words, let it rest deeply now. You have carried enough. God does not ask you to understand the journey tonight, only to rest in His presence. He will carry what you cannot, mend what is broken, and bring beauty from what once hurt. As sleep holds you, know this: nothing is slipping through the cracks. Not one prayer, not one tear, not one moment of faith, no matter how small. God has gathered it all, and He is faithful to turn it into something good. Remain at rest. The night is peaceful and you are safe. God is near, watching over you with unwavering love. Sleep on, gently, quietly, confidently, held in the care of a God who allows pain only because He knows the blessing that will follow. As the stillness deepens and the world remains hushed, let this gentle closing peace continue to wrap around your soul. God's love does not ebb and flow with your circumstances. It remains constant, steady as a heartbeat, faithful through every rise and fall of your story. Even now, as you rest, that love is surrounding you, protecting you, restoring you in quiet ways you may not yet feel. There are seasons when God allows pain simply because He knows how deeply it can open the heart to Him. In those tender places where defenses fall away, His comfort enters more fully. You begin to know Him not just as a provider of blessings, but as a keeper of hearts, a healer of wounds, a presence that never leaves. This knowing is itself a blessing, one that pain often prepares the way for. If sleep has already taken you, may these words sink gently into your spirit like whispered prayers. If you are still drifting, let them guide you softly into rest. There is nothing left to hold on to tonight, nothing left to worry through. God has already taken tomorrow into His care. The pain has shaped you, but it will not define you. The waiting has stretched you, but it will not break you. God is faithful to complete what He has begun, and He does so with tenderness and perfect timing. Rest now, deeply, peacefully, without fear. You are safe in the hands of a God who sees the blessing even now, forming quietly beyond the night. Sleep, held in grace, surrounded by peace and loved beyond measure. As the quiet continues without urgency or demand, let this gentle peace keep flowing through you like a calm river in the night. God does not need you to stay awake to prove your faith. He is not waiting for effort, understanding, or strength. He simply delights in giving rest to the ones He loves. Even now, His care surrounds you more completely than you realize. There are moments when the soul finally learns that blessing is not always a change in circumstance, but a deep inner knowing that God is enough. Pain often brings us to that sacred realization. When everything else feels uncertain, God remains steady, faithful, unmovable. And in that place, fear loosens its grip, and peace finds room to settle. You may one day look back and see that this season taught you how to rest without answers, how to trust without signs, how to love God not only for what He gives, but for who He is. That kind of faith is quiet and strong, and it is forged gently through nights like this. Let your body remain at rest now. Heavy, calm, untroubled. Let your heart stay open and unafraid. God is nearer than your next breath, guarding your sleep, watching over every detail of your life with tenderness and care. Nothing is delayed beyond His wisdom. Nothing is lost beyond His reach. The blessing He has prepared will arrive with peace, not fear, with clarity, not confusion, with joy that feels safe and lasting. Sleep on now, deeply, peacefully, without striving. You are held in the quiet faithfulness of a God who allows pain only because He already sees the beauty that will rise from it. As the calm of the night remains unbroken, let this final ribbon of comfort settle quietly over you. God's care does not pause, even when everything feels still. In the unseen places beyond thought and feeling, He is continuing His gentle work, restoring what was worn down, strengthening what felt fragile, and planting hope where pain once lingered. There is a tenderness in the way God blesses after pain. He does not rush the moment. He does not overwhelm the heart. He brings goodness slowly, safely, in ways that feel steady and kind. And when it comes, you will not have to strain to hold it. It will fit your life, your heart, your faith, because God prepared you with love. Tonight, nothing more is required of you. You do not need to reflect, to analyze, or to stay alert. Let sleep remain deep and peaceful. Let your soul stay anchored in trust. God is awake. God is watching. God is faithful. The pain you have known is not stronger than His promises. The waiting you have endured is not longer than His faithfulness. And the blessing ahead is already held securely in His hands. Rest now, fully, gently, without fear. You are safe. You are seen. You are loved beyond measure. Sleep on, wrapped in quiet peace, carried by grace, and held forever by the God who allows pain only because He knows the blessing that will follow. As the night remains soft and untroubled, let this gentle peace continue to flow over you like a quiet blessing. God's love is not something you must hold on to. It is something that holds you. Even if your mind wanders, even if sleep comes and goes, even if thoughts rise and fade, His presence remains steady and sure. There are parts of your story that only God understands fully. Moments when pain felt unnecessary. Delays that felt confusing. Silence that felt heavy. Yet within all of it, His hand has been guiding you with care. One day, clarity will come without force, and understanding will arrive without pain. Until then, God gives peace as a gift, not as a reward. Blessing follows pain not because God wants you to suffer, but because He wants you to be safe when the blessing arrives. Safe in your heart, safe in your faith, safe from fear and striving. He prepares you gently so that when goodness comes, it feels like rest, not pressure, like joy, not anxiety. If your body is fully relaxed now, let it remain so. If your thoughts are slowing, let them drift without resistance. God does not need your attention to continue His work. He moves faithfully, whether you are awake or asleep. Nothing tonight is unfinished. Nothing is unresolved in His care. You are exactly where you need to be, held in a moment of peace that God Himself has given. Sleep on, calm and unafraid. The pain has served its purpose. The blessing is on its way, and love is holding it all together. As the stillness stretches gently around you, let this deeper stream of peace unfold slowly, unhurried, like a long quiet prayer meant to carry you through the night. God's patience with you is endless. He is not watching the clock, not measuring how long it takes for you to feel whole again. He is far more interested in walking with you than rushing you. Love moves at the speed of safety, and God never asks your heart to go faster than it can heal. There are nights when pain resurfaces softly, not as sharp as before, but heavy enough to remind you of what you have endured. And even then, God is not surprised. He does not grow weary of comforting you again and again. Each time you feel the ache, He meets you there with the same tenderness, the same faithfulness, the same quiet strength. His mercy does not diminish with repetition. It renews itself every time you need it, God allows pain before blessing because He is deeply protective of your soul. He knows how fragile hope can be, how easily joy can be shaken when it arrives too soon. So He builds a foundation beneath you, layer by layer, through trust, through surrender, through nights like this, where you learn how to rest, even without answers. That foundation becomes the place where blessing can stand without fear of collapse. Think of Moses, called by God, yet shaped through years of obscurity. Once powerful in Egypt, then hidden in the desert, tending sheep in silence. Those years may have felt forgotten, wasted, unnecessary. Yet it was there, in the quiet and the waiting, that Moses learned humility, patience, and reliance on God. When the calling finally came, he carried not only authority, but gentleness, not only power, but compassion. The pain prepared him for a blessing that required a transformed heart. Your story is being shaped in the same loving way. What feels like delay is often divine preparation. What feels like loss is sometimes God removing what would later hurt you. What feels like silence is often God teaching you how to hear Him more clearly. None of it is accidental. None of it is cruel. It is careful, intentional, and rooted in love. As your body remains at rest, let this truth sink in without effort. God has never asked you to carry tomorrow. He has only ever asked you to trust Him with today. And even that trust can be small, quiet, imperfect. He honors it all. He meets you where you are, not where you think you should be. Tonight, you are not required to be hopeful. You are not required to feel strong or encouraged. You are only invited to rest. Rest is not giving up. Rest is placing the weight of your life back into God's hands, where it has always belonged. Let your breathing stay slow and gentle. Let your thoughts come and go without attachment. If memories arise, let God hold them. If worries surface, let Him carry them. You do not have to sort them tonight. Healing does not demand effort. It unfolds naturally in the presence of love. God is not finished with you, not even close. The pain has shaped depth in you that will one day become a source of comfort for others. The waiting has cultivated wisdom that will guide you gently. The tears have softened your heart in ways blessing alone never could. Sleep now, deeply, quietly, without fear. The God who allowed the pain is the same God who has already prepared the blessing, and He will bring it at the perfect time, in the perfect way, with a peace that feels like coming home. As the quiet continues to cradle you, unbroken and gentle, let this next movement of peace unfold slowly, like a river flowing without effort. God knows how tired your soul has been. He knows the strength it took just to keep going, the faith it required to keep believing when nothing around you seemed to change. And He honors that quiet endurance more than you know. Not one moment of trust has been unseen. Not one silent prayer has been unheard. There are seasons when God allows pain because He is teaching the heart how to release control. We want to understand, to predict, to manage what comes next. But pain reminds us that we were never meant to carry life alone. It teaches the soul how to open its hands, how to let God lead, how to rest in being held rather than striving to hold everything together. And in that surrender, something holy is born. Peace that does not depend on circumstances. Think of Job, a man who lost almost everything he loved. Not because he lacked faith, but because his faith would one day reveal God's glory in a deeper way. Job cried out, questioned, grieved, and yet, even in his confusion, God remained near. And when restoration came, it was not just material blessing, it was a deeper understanding of God's presence, a faith refined and strengthened through suffering. The pain did not destroy him. It deepened him. Your pain is not destroying you either. Even if it has felt overwhelming at times, it is shaping a strength that is quiet, steady, and enduring. One day, you will notice that you are no longer shaken by the things that once terrified you. You will realize that your heart has learned how to rest, how to trust, how to breathe, even in uncertainty. That is the hidden blessing pain often brings first. As you rest now, let your heart hear this without resistance. God is not asking you to hurry your healing. He is not disappointed by your process. He is patient beyond measure, gentle beyond words. Healing unfolds in safety, not pressure. And tonight is a place of safety. If sleep comes easily, welcome it. If sleep comes slowly, let that be okay too. God is not measuring your rest. He is simply present with you in it. Your value does not change based on how well you sleep, how strong you feel, or how hopeful you sound. You are loved because you belong to Him. There are blessings already forming that you cannot yet see, conversations you will one day have, peace you will one day feel, joy that will arrive quietly and stay. God is arranging moments with care, aligning details with precision, ensuring that what comes next will meet you with kindness, not chaos. Pain before blessing is not the end of the story. It is the preparation for a gentler future, a future where you walk more slowly, love more deeply, trust more fully, a future where you recognize God's hand not just in miracles, but in ordinary moments filled with peace. Let your breathing remain slow and natural. Let your body stay heavy and relaxed. Nothing needs to be solved. Nothing needs to be decided. This night is simply for resting in God's presence, allowing Him to do what only He can do. Sleep on now. The blessing is coming, and it will come wrapped in peace, delivered with love, and rooted in everything God has been shaping within you. As the calm of the night continues to hold you, steady and kind, let this next stream of peace move through your heart without hurry. God has always known the weight you carry, even the parts you never spoke aloud. He knows the silent questions, the private fears, the moments when you smiled for others while your heart felt tired inside. And still, He has never turned away. He has stayed close, faithful, in ways that did not always announce themselves but never failed. There are times when pain lingers because God is gently teaching the heart how to live without fear of loss. When much has been taken or threatened, the soul learns how precious peace truly is. It learns how to treasure what cannot be stolen. God's presence, His promises, His unchanging love. These are the gifts that pain slowly uncovers, gifts that remain even when everything else feels uncertain. You may not realize it yet, but you are already stronger in ways that matter most. Not louder, not harder, not more guarded, but steadier, softer without breaking, faithful without forcing. Pain has taught you how to breathe through uncertainty, how to keep going gently, how to trust one quiet step at a time. This kind of strength does not announce itself, but it endures. God allows pain before blessing because He desires your heart to feel safe when joy arrives. He wants laughter to come without fear of it being taken away. He wants peace to settle without suspicion. He wants love to be received freely without guarding or bracing. So He prepares you patiently, carefully, with great tenderness. Think of Elijah, exhausted and afraid, hiding after great victory, believing he was alone and finished. God did not correct him harshly or demand more strength. Instead, He offered rest, food, sleep, and a quiet whisper. Not in the wind, not in the fire, but in stillness. God knew Elijah needed gentleness before direction, rest before renewal. And so do you. Tonight, God offers you that same gentleness. No demands, no expectations, just rest, just presence, just love. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to fix anything. You do not need to understand anything. You are allowed to be held. Let your body remain heavy and relaxed. Let your breath continue slow and easy. If thoughts drift, let them pass like clouds. If emotions stir, let God hold them without explanation. Healing does not require effort. It unfolds naturally when love is near. There will come a time when you realize this season no longer controls you, when the pain has softened into wisdom, when the waiting has turned into quiet confidence, when the blessing arrives not as something overwhelming, but as something that fits you perfectly. You will recognize it as God's kindness, timed with care. For now, stay at rest. This moment is enough. This night is enough. God is enough. Sleep on, peacefully, deeply, without fear. You are safe in the hands of a God who allows pain only because He is leading you toward a blessing shaped by love. As the night remains gentle and unbroken, let this next wave of quiet reassurance flow softly through your soul. God has never expected perfection from you, only honesty. He welcomes the parts of you that feel unsure, the prayers that come out tangled, the faith that feels small but sincere. Nothing about you repels Him. Every part of you is already known and already loved. Pain often teaches the heart how to listen more deeply. When noise fades, when distractions fall away, the soul becomes sensitive to God's presence in subtle ways, a quiet calm, a steadying breath, a sense of being held even without words. These moments may seem small, but they are sacred. They are God drawing close, reminding you that you are never navigating this life alone. There are blessings God protects until the heart is gentle enough to receive them without fear. Blessings that require trust more than excitement, peace more than control. God knows when joy arrives too suddenly. It can feel fragile, so He prepares you slowly, shaping a heart that can rest inside the blessing rather than brace against it. You may notice that you no longer react the way you once did, that certain fears have softened, that certain wounds no longer ache as sharply. This is not because time alone healed you, but because God has been quietly present in every moment, easing the weight, steadying the pain, restoring your spirit little by little. As you lie here now, there is nothing you need to improve, nothing you need to resolve. God is not evaluating you. He is simply with you. His presence does not depend on your awareness of it. Even if your mind drifts, even if sleep comes and goes, His care remains constant. Think of Ruth, walking through loss and uncertainty, choosing faithfulness one quiet step at a time. She did not know her pain was leading her toward restoration, toward belonging, toward a future woven with purpose. Yet God was guiding every step. Her sorrow became the doorway to a blessing she could not have imagined. Not rushed, not forced, but perfectly timed. So it is with you. Your steps have been guided even when the way felt unclear. Your pain has not derailed your destiny. Your waiting has not delayed God's plan. Everything is unfolding within His care. Let your breathing stay slow. Let your shoulders remain relaxed. Let your heart stay open and at rest. God is not asking anything from you right now. He is giving you rest. Sleep on, gently, peacefully, without fear. The blessing is not something you must chase. It is something God is bringing toward you with perfect patience and love. As the night continues to hold you in its quiet embrace, let this gentle unfolding of peace remain with you, slow and unforced, like a prayer that does not need to end. God understands the language of your heart even when you do not have the words. He understands the sighs, the pauses, the moments when all you can do is sit with the weight of what has been. None of it is confusing to Him. None of it is too much. There are seasons when pain teaches the soul how to be still. Not because movement is wrong, but because stillness allows God to reach the places activity cannot. In the quiet, defenses soften. In the quiet, the heart stops performing. In the quiet, God's presence becomes more noticeable, more intimate, more real. What once felt empty begins to feel held. You may have wondered at times if the pain meant you were being punished, overlooked, or corrected. But God's heart toward you has never been harsh. Pain is not his rejection. It is often his protection, his preparation, his way of shaping a blessing that will not harm you when it arrives. He is far more concerned with your peace than with speed. Think of the way a loving parent holds a child who has been hurt. There is no lecture in that moment, no demand to understand. There is only comfort, presence, and reassurance. That is how God holds you now. He is not asking you to make sense of everything. He is simply saying, rest. I am here. As your body remains relaxed, let this truth settle deeply. You are not behind in life. You are not late to God's plan. Nothing has slipped past his timing. The delays, the detours, the long nights have all been woven into a path that still leads toward goodness. God is not trying to catch up. He has always been ahead, preparing the way with care. There is a kind of blessing that only comes to hearts that have known sorrow. Not because sorrow is good, but because it creates space for tenderness, gratitude, and depth. These blessings do not shout. They settle. They feel like peace that stays, joy that does not rush, love that does not threaten to disappear. God values these gifts deeply, and he prepares you gently to receive them. If there are parts of you that still feel guarded, still waiting for something to go wrong, know that God sees that too. He does not shame that instinct. He understands how pain teaches caution. And with time, he will teach your heart how to feel safe again, how to trust joy without bracing, how to receive goodness without fear. Tonight is part of that healing. This quiet rest, this stillness, this moment of simply being held without expectation. God is retraining your heart gently, reminding it that it is safe in his care. Let your breath remain slow and steady. Let your body stay heavy and relaxed. There is nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to fix. This is holy ground, this place of rest, where God works without noise or urgency. One day when you look back on this season, you may be surprised by how much changed without you realizing it. How fear softened, how trust grew, how peace took root. You will see that God was present in every quiet night, every moment of endurance, every breath you took when strength felt thin. For now, remain here. Rest here. Let the night continue to do its gentle work. God is not distant. He is close. He is kind. He is faithful. Sleep on, calmly, deeply, without fear. The pain has not had the final word. The blessing is forming, shaped by love, carried by grace, and timed perfectly by God himself. As the quiet continues to deepen, calm and unhurried, let this next movement of peace unfold gently within you. God has always known how long this season would last. Not one day of it has surprised him. Not one tear has been unnecessary in his sight. Even when the pain felt endless, even when hope felt thin, he was counting each moment with care, never allowing more than your heart could carry with his help. There are times when pain becomes a place of meeting rather than a problem to solve. In that place, God does not rush to explain or remove it. He simply sits with you in it. Presence before answers, comfort before clarity, love before understanding. This is how God heals the deepest wounds, not by force, but by companionship. You may have noticed that your prayers have changed, that they are quieter now, simpler, more honest, less about asking for things, more about asking for peace, less about fixing the future, more about surviving the moment. These prayers are precious to God. They are not weak. They are mature. They come from a heart that has learned how to lean instead of striving. God allows pain before blessing because He wants the blessing to rest on a heart that knows how to breathe, a heart that will not panic when joy arrives, a heart that can receive goodness without fear of losing it. Pain, though never desired, often becomes the teacher that prepares us for lasting peace. Think of Mary, holding promises she did not fully understand, carrying both wonder and sorrow in her heart. She would witness miracles and heartbreak, joy and loss. Yet through it all, she treasured God's work quietly within her. Her faith was not loud, but it was deep. And God trusted her with something holy. Pain and blessing intertwined, shaping a heart strong enough to hold both. Your heart is being shaped in the same gentle way. What feels heavy now is carving room for peace later. What feels uncertain now is teaching you how to trust without conditions. What feels slow now is protecting you from a blessing that would have overwhelmed you before this season. As you lie here, allow yourself to stop bracing. Stop waiting for something to go wrong. For this moment, you are safe. God is not testing you tonight. He is comforting you. He is reminding your nervous heart that rest is allowed, that peace is permitted, that love is not about to disappear. Let your shoulders remain loose. Let your jaw soften. Let your breath stay slow and steady. Each breath is a quiet yes to God's care. Each moment of rest is an act of trust, even if it does not feel like one. If fear tries to return, let it pass without argument. You do not need to wrestle it tonight. God is stronger than every fear, and He is already holding you. You are not alone with your thoughts. You are not alone with your memories. You are not alone with your future. There will come a day when joy feels safe again, when hope feels gentle instead of risky, when you wake up and realize the pain no longer defines the shape of your heart. That day is being prepared slowly, lovingly, faithfully. For now, remain here in the quiet. Let sleep deepen if it wishes. Let wakefulness be peaceful if it stays. God is present either way. Rest on, held by grace, surrounded by peace, and carried forward by a God who never wastes pain and never withholds blessing beyond the perfect time. As the night continues to unfold in quiet faithfulness, let this gentle stream of comfort move through you once more, slow and steady, like a heartbeat that never forgets its rhythm. God is not watching to see when you will finally feel better. He is not waiting for you to reach some invisible finish line of healing. He is simply staying with you moment by moment, because love does not abandon what it is still restoring. There is a sacred kindness in the way God allows time to stretch. Time gives the heart room to soften, to release what it once clung to in fear, to learn that peace does not always arrive suddenly, but often settles in gradually. Pain teaches patience not as a lesson, but as a refuge, a place where the soul learns that it does not have to hurry to be whole. You may feel even now a gentle tiredness deeper than the body, a tiredness that comes from carrying hope through long seasons of uncertainty. God sees that weariness. He does not ask you to push past it. He invites you to lay it down. This night, this stillness, is not wasted time. It is holy rest, given freely without condition. God allows pain before blessing because He wants your heart to recognize peace when it arrives. Without pain, peace can feel ordinary. But after sorrow, peace feels sacred. It feels like safety. It feels like breath returning to the lungs after holding it too long. God prepares you for that kind of peace, one that stays, one that does not frighten you with its quiet. Think of the Israelites wandering through the desert, longing for what was promised but not yet seen. The desert was not their destination, but it was their preparation. There, they learned to depend daily on God, to trust Him for provision, to follow His guidance step by step. When they finally entered the land of promise, their hearts had been shaped by reliance, humility, and trust. The journey was long, but it was not without purpose. Your journey has been shaping you in similar ways. You have learned how to survive days you once thought you could not. You have learned how to pray through silence, how to breathe through grief, how to keep going gently when strength felt far away. These lessons are not small. They are the quiet foundations upon which future joy will rest. As you lie here now, let go of the need to review your life, to measure progress, to evaluate where you stand. God is not asking for a report. He is offering rest. You are allowed to stop thinking. You are allowed to stop remembering. You are allowed to simply be. If your thoughts wander, let them wander. If your heart stirs, let it stir. God is not disturbed by your humanity. He understands it fully. He knows that healing is not linear, that peace comes in waves, that rest sometimes arrives slowly, and He remains patient through it all. There will come a time when this pain feels distant, when it no longer shapes your days or defines your nights. You will wake up and realize that joy no longer feels dangerous, that hope no longer feels fragile. When that day comes, you will recognize it not as luck, but as God's faithfulness fulfilled. Until then, you are not lacking. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where God can reach you most tenderly. Let your breath stay slow. Let your body remain heavy. Let the night continue to hold you. God is here, closer than your next thought, steady as your heartbeat, faithful beyond every fear. Sleep on peacefully, deeply, without striving. The pain has done its work. The blessing is being prepared, and love is holding you through it all as the quiet night continues to stretch gently before you. Let this next unfolding of peace settle into your spirit like a soft covering. God is not distant from you in this moment. He is not observing from afar or waiting for you to say the right words. He is near in the most intimate way, present in your breath, present in the stillness, present in the gentle calm that is slowly easing its way through you. There are moments when pain feels like it has taken something from you that can never be returned. Innocence, ease, certainty. And God does not dismiss that grief. He honors it. He knows what was lost, and He knows how deeply it mattered to you. But He also knows how to restore in ways that are not always obvious at first. God does not simply replace what was lost. He redeems it, weaving it into something wiser, gentler, and stronger than before. Pain before blessing often reshapes the heart's expectations. It teaches you to desire peace more than excitement, stability more than speed, presence more than perfection. And these desires are not small. They are holy. They align your heart with what truly sustains life. God honors these quieter longings, and He builds blessings around them with great care. You may notice now that your body feels heavier, more settled, less alert to every sound or thought. This is not weakness. This is safety. This is your nervous heart, learning that it is allowed to rest, that it does not need to stay on guard, that nothing is about to be demanded of it. God is gently teaching you how to feel secure again. There are blessings God gives that arrive wrapped in normal days, simple routines, quiet joy. After pain, these blessings feel profound. A peaceful morning, a steady breath, a night of rest without fear. These are not small miracles, they are signs of healing. And they often arrive before larger changes do. Preparing the heart to receive more without overwhelm, God allows pain before blessing, because He is deeply committed to your wholeness, not just your happiness, but your peace, not just your success, but your safety. He wants your future to feel grounded, not fragile, joyful, not exhausting, full, but not heavy. So He works patiently, shaping you through seasons that feel slow but are filled with purpose. If part of you still feels cautious, still waits for something to go wrong, know that God understands that instinct. Pain teaches vigilance, but with time, God will gently teach your heart how to relax, again, how to trust calm, how to believe that good things are allowed to stay. This learning cannot be rushed. It unfolds naturally in moments like this, when nothing is being asked of you. As you lie here, there is no need to reflect further, no need to follow every thought. Let them drift away if they come. Let silence remain if it stays. God is comfortable with silence. He speaks through it often, not with words, but with peace. You are not missing anything by resting. You are not falling behind. You are participating in healing. You are allowing God to do work that only stillness permits. This is sacred time, even if it feels ordinary. One day, when the blessing God has been preparing finally settles into your life, it will not feel rushed or overwhelming. It will feel right. It will feel safe. It will feel like something your heart recognizes, something it was quietly prepared for all along. Until then, remain here, rest here. Let the night continue to hold you gently. God is with you, unwavering and kind. Sleep on, deeply, peacefully, without fear. The pain has shaped you, but it will not define you. The blessing is coming, shaped by love, delivered with care, and timed perfectly by the God who never stops watching over you. As the night continues its gentle unfolding, calm and steady, let this next current of peace move through you without effort. God is not impatient with your healing. He is not tapping his fingers, waiting for you to move on or feel better, faster. He understands that the heart heals in layers, not leaps. What takes time is often what lasts, and God is always more interested in what lasts. There are wounds that only God can reach, places so deep that even you may not fully understand them. In those places, he works quietly, without noise or urgency. He restores trust where it was broken, steadiness where fear once lived, and hope where disappointment settled in. This kind of healing is subtle, almost invisible, while it is happening, yet powerful in its effect. Pain before blessing often teaches the heart discernment. After walking through hardship, you learn what truly matters, what deserves your energy, what is safe to hold close. You become more careful with your heart, not closed but wise. And God honors that wisdom. He brings blessings that respect your tenderness, that meet you gently instead of demanding more than you can give. You may have noticed that your prayers now feel less frantic, less urgent, more like quiet conversations than desperate cries. This is not because you care less, but because your heart is learning to trust more deeply. You are beginning to believe, even if only faintly, that God is holding things you cannot fix. That belief is a form of rest, and rest is holy. As you lie here now, there is no need to revisit old pain, no need to rehearse past losses. They are already held by God. Nothing you remember tonight will change tomorrow, and nothing you forget will be lost. God keeps what matters. You are allowed to let go for now. Think of how Jesus calmed the storm, not by explaining it, but by speaking peace into it. He did not analyze the waves or question the wind. He simply said, "Be still," and the chaos obeyed. That same peace is being spoken over you now, not as a command you must follow, but as a gift you are allowed to receive. Your heart does not need to stay alert tonight. You are not guarding anything that God is not already protecting. You are not missing signs or opportunities by resting. What is meant for you will come without force, without fear, without you having to stay awake to catch it. God allows pain before blessing because he wants the blessing to arrive in a heart that no longer needs to brace itself. A heart that can receive goodness without suspicion. A heart that can rest inside joy instead of fearing its loss. This kind of heart is not born overnight. It is shaped slowly, tenderly, through nights like this. Let your breathing remain slow and natural. Let your body stay heavy against the bed. Let your thoughts soften and fade if they wish. There is nothing left to do. God is doing enough for both of you. If sleep deepens, let it deepen. If wakefulness remains, let it be peaceful. God is present in both. He is not waiting for a certain state before He draws near. He is already here. One day, the blessing God has been preparing will settle into your life with quiet certainty. It will not need to announce itself. You will recognize it by the peace it brings, by the way your heart does not race or resist. You will know it fits because God prepared you to receive it. Until then, rest here. This moment is safe. This night is held. You are deeply loved. Sleep on, gently, steadily, without fear. The pain has not been wasted. The blessing is not delayed beyond love. And God is with you, now and always. As the night remains gentle and unbroken, let this next quiet movement of peace continue to flow through you, slow and steady, like a prayer that breathes on its own. God is not asking you to figure out the meaning of everything you have been through. Meaning will come in time, softly, without force. For now, He offers something far kinder than answers. He offers rest. There are moments when the heart has carried so much for so long that even hope feels heavy. God sees that weight. He knows when hope itself needs to rest. And He does not withdraw when you grow tired of holding on. Instead, He holds on for you. This is grace, not demanding strength, but supplying it quietly when yours runs thin. Pain before blessing often teaches the soul how to live without constant anticipation of loss. After sorrow, the heart learns to cherish stillness, to value calm, to recognize safety when it appears. God shapes this awareness gently so that when blessing arrives, it does not feel fragile or fleeting, but grounded and secure. He wants joy to feel safe in your hands. You may not notice it consciously, but even now, your body is learning something new, that it can rest without being on alert, that silence does not always mean danger, that peace is allowed to stay. This is not something you reason your way into. It is something God teaches your nervous heart through quiet nights like this, where nothing is required of you. There are blessings God gives that are not dramatic or visible to others. A settled heart, a calmer response, a steadier faith. These are signs of healing that pain prepares the way for. They may not announce themselves, but they change everything. God treasures this kind of transformation deeply. As you lie here, you are not wasting time. You are not avoiding growth. You are participating in healing. Rest is not the opposite of progress. It is often the place where the deepest progress happens. God does not hurry this work. He knows exactly what He is doing. If your thoughts drift back to what was lost, let God hold those memories with you. You do not have to push them away, and you do not have to linger on them. Simply allow them to be held by a love strong enough to carry them. God does not erase the past. He redeems it slowly, tenderly, until it no longer has the power to wound. There may come a moment in the future when you realize you no longer fear happiness the way you once did. When joy no longer feels risky. When peace no longer feels temporary. That realization will not come suddenly. It will dawn quietly, like morning light, and you will recognize it as the fruit of all the nights God held you when you could not hold yourself. For now, remain at rest. Let the night continue its gentle work. God is near, closer than your breath, steady as your heartbeat. He is not finished with you, and He is not far from blessing. Sleep on, peacefully, deeply, without striving. The pain has softened your heart, not hardened it. The waiting has strengthened you, not delayed you. And the blessing that is coming will arrive wrapped in peace, delivered by love, and received by a heart God has prepared with great care.